how would you defend something like Saint Alphonsus's glories of Mary against Protestants? I mean, you have to realize that Saint Alphonsus is writing within a broader devotional tradition. So the broader devotional tradition uses certain terms in certain ways, which are meant to signify very concrete and certain things. So if you look at the devotional tradition, you can get a famous example is that the hands of the child Jesus created the universe. The hands of the child Jesus created the universe. This obviously cannot be taken in its proper sense. It cannot be simply taken because the hands of the child Jesus, the Blessed Trinity did not create the universe in virtue of the humanity of particularly the young Jesus. Like, that is absurd. But if taken for the sort of concrete and human is being taken as revealing and as subsisting by the subsistence of the eternal word, and you're taking it in that sense, a sort of distinct sense, then sure, you could possibly interpret this in a sound sense, which is what all of the theologians do when they are disputing this question. St. Thomas famously has a few places where he actually specifically talks about this verse. So when it comes to St. Alphonsus, you just have to read him within the devotional tradition of the church. When you look at the Mariologists of the era and of contemporary times, and you read the authoritative sources of Mariology, for example, when St. Alphonsus refers to the Blessed Virgin as omnipotent, St. Alphonsus is writing within a certain devotional tradition. You read the Mariologists of his day, you read the Mariologists of before, you read the Mariologists of today, you read the dogmatic theologians who are writing on De Deo Uno of the time, of before, and of today, you see that they obviously do not somehow infer any sort of the essentially divine properties to the Blessed Virgin Mary. This is meant to be a sort of devotional form, which is in reference to the efficacy of her prayers with God. So, I mean, you really, in order to defend St. Alphonsus, you have to contextualize him. And if you're not going to contextualize him by reading him within the devotional tradition, one, that's completely uncharitable. Two, it's kind of stupid. And three, it just makes him completely contradictory within himself. So, I mean, that's generally what I would say about this.